you look at the carts on the line in front of you and the other lines, and they are mostly full of processed food, all kind of variations of processed food, and almost rarely do you see produce in the carts. You might see a little meat, but it's 95% processed food. And is that nutritious? No. The first thing that processed food people do to take food and make it processed to their satisfaction is they make sure all the enzymes are destroyed. They don't want any enzymes in food. And there's a reason for that. Enzymes cause food to go bad. And they want it to last as long as possible on the shelf. So they consider enzymes to be the enemy inside of food. And that's the first thing wrong with processed food. It's enzymeless. The first thing to understand about this food that's enzymeless and processed and cooked in order to get it that way is that it's acid producing. It's acid producing in the body. So your body should have a saliva which is neutral, 7.0, 7.2, and that gradually, as you get older, becomes more and more acid till finally it's maybe 5.5 or below. There's somebody present here who's a dentist, and he'll be the first one to tell you that, hey, if the saliva is 7.0, 7.2, I don't see cavities, and I don't see gum disease, and so on and so forth. It's when it goes down from there that all these other things in a dental health become manifest. So that's the first thing is pH, and getting educated to eat a pH balanced diet. Most of your raw foods are alkaline. Not all, but all. But you get lists. You get lists of pH acid foods and pH alkaline foods. And eat predominantly alkaline foods, and then you will have less of a problem with the excess acidity. All degenerative diseases come out of excess acidity, including arthritis, including GERD and other upset problems and so on and so forth. Too much acidity going on in one's food choices. Okay, well, you know that pyramid has the top, the little pointy thing, and then the bottom, the base, which is very wide. I would have fresh raw fruits and vegetables, raw seeds and nuts, raw, not roasted, and most of them come roasted. Then you have your juices, you have water. Then above that, maybe near the peak, would be processed food. It's not that you can never eat processed food. If you do, you got to be taken to the emergency room. It's not that difficult. But some people have to have some processed food, and so that would be up near the top. Not a lot of volume of processed food. Then at the very, very top would be the treats. You know, you have to have your gummy bears. You have to have, I don't know, whatever it is that you. And all this is based on cravings. You know, this other food, when you get to the process level and so on, it's cravings. Very rarely do you feel somebody who's addicted to fresh, raw fruits and vegetables. They're always addicted to something that's also bad for them. What do I mean by bad? It's polluting to the body. And the body's now got to work a whole lot more to eliminate it. Now, let's assume that you're going to eat more than a healthy amount of polluting food. Well, the first thing you need to have is adequate hydration. And hydration is in the form of water. It's not in the form of processed tea or Coca-Cola or any other liquids that are not water. It's water, because water, 75% of it is a solvent, and the other 25% is hydrating. So you need that 75% solvent in order to dilute the polluting aspects of your lifestyle and your diet. There's a saying, and it's actually very, very apropos. It's the solution to pollution is dilution. This is used by nature all over. All over it's used by nature. Too much pollution, let's dilute it to where it's not harmful. Well, it's the same thing in your body. Most people I deal with who have some kind of chronic disease are also chronically low-grade dehydrated. They rarely drink water. The first thing a person needs to do is become educated. They're not going to take more responsibility and control without them knowing on some level that it's the correct thing to do. And the hardest people I have to deal with are people who hate to read and aren't going to study anything. The ones who I run into who are really wonderful to deal with are the ones who have read a number of books and so on. An interesting phenomenon occurs. If you run into a piece of truth the first time, you don't necessarily buy it. You got to run into it from another source, another time, another source, a third time, and then you go, maybe there's some truth to this, maybe I should apply it.